what I wanted to do is I wanted to also introduce what we call the 4 pillars of social. One of the things I find is that when people are getting started in social media, if you've looked at some Facebook or some LinkedIn or even some Twitter, you might find that people are talking at you as opposed to talking with you. So, the 4 pillars are communication, collaboration, education, and entertainment. And you can actually use any of these 4 pillars intertwined. So you can be educating and entertaining at the same time. You can be, offering opportunities for collaboration, but again, it could be for educational purposes. So these are sometimes a great way for you to start and get off on the right foot to get people involved in your society. Yeah?
You forgot a 5th one.
Oh, what's the 5th one?
Annoying.
See, now,
he needs therapy.
We do. He needs therapy. But that is a valid point. If you're feeling that way, then the person who's doing social media that you're following isn't doing it properly. That's a great comment because, one of the compliments that I get from people who follow me on Twitter is that I don't over-tweet. And you've probably seen it, and that's where that term annoying comes from, is that you look at someone's Twitter and they're like, I didn't need to know they went to lunch just at that minute, And when you think about your strategies, you do want to think about that. There is an annoyance factor, and that's actually an important thing to bring up, and I think it's important is that it's not a pillar, it's actually something they have to watch out for when they launch their strategies. And that goes for all of you too, because there can be that leverage point where you tip them to, just like email blasts. How many of you have been on an email list and then you decided they're sending me way too much, I'm unsubscribing? Exactly. So there is a threshold, and I think, like any good marketing, you have to find the line between the annoying factor and the educating. And you mentioned being on our list, and I thank you, but we send one out once a month. I don't know if you remember, but we did try to send one out once a week. I got so many people who came back to me and said, you can't do this, I'm going to unsubscribe. And I said, okay, I listened to my audience, and we turned it off. But I'm not CNN. If I were CNN, I could get away with that. So I think that's an important point.